Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That one's done. That one's...
You're taking it.
What the heck?
You know that sound you get when you start getting the echo? It's just annoying. Like, where's that echo coming from? Yeah, I get that too much. So it's like in my head. So I always think it's happening. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Today's been an interesting day. I've been I have
Hold on. All right.
that was you doing the echo from the machine, right?
that time it was. I was trying to get bloody Facebook to come up with the live stream so I could mute it. You were saying
today's just been an interesting day. I have been editing a music video today. My buddy's band they got a record contract and their album drops in the middle of the month, and so they asked me to shoot them a music video, you know, because I'm badass like that. So yeah. So we shot a really quick music video on basically 2 days of shooting.
All right.
And I wasn't like whole days. It was actually the first day was like a whole day, you know, well, 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock, so 6 hours, you know what I mean, at 2 locations. And then the second day of shooting was like the like more filler footage. So we had, so that was basically like an hour to 2 hours of shooting, you know what I mean? But those were on separate days, 3 different locations. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that something that has yet to? All right, so I take it the music video doesn't debut till what, this weekend?
It'll drop by this weekend. Yeah, I need to get it finished for them so that they can drop it right before the album release, so they can maximize sales. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing pre-orders now on it, but the original target for the video was hopefully going to be Halloween. But a whole mess of stuff happened, you know what I mean, like in between the time that we decided to do the video and then the date that we would actually, you know, I mean, there's just way too many things just popped in the middle of there, you know what I mean? So it was like, okay, you know, but we still have, you know, had a 2-week window before Halloween and the release. So but yeah, so I'm just trying to finish it up, tighten it up, get everything perfect. You know what I mean? Since I'm not under pressure, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm just going to make it perfect so that when people see it, they're going to be like, oh, you know, because let's be honest, right? You could have a great song, a crappy music video, people aren't going to appreciate the song. And on the other side of that card, you could have a crappy song and a terrific music video, you know what I mean? And then people are going to appreciate the song. So it's a medium that helps sell music. What's up, Sim? I see Sim in the chat. What's up, man?
Indeed. Oh, by the way, welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. We're on today with our special guest, Mr. E. Hello, Sim. Hello, everyone. Get yourselves a little love. Indeed.
Or get yourself a lot of love. I don't mind. If you want a lot of love, I'm totally cool with that. You know what I mean?
Plenty to go around.
There's plenty of love to go around. There really is. Especially since the COVID spikes have canceled yet another big convention. So yeah, I put down my $350 deposit to have my small press table at LA Comic-Con. It was supposed to happen. Yeah, it's supposed to happen December 11th, 12th, and 13th this year.
Oh wow! Are you getting refunded then?
No, the deposit carries over till the next con, right?
Okay. All right.
So yeah, so that $350 isn't lost, but it's also basically in limbo, existing into then. And then I actually, you know, can't cash in on it unless I actually go to the con You know what I mean? At which,
Yeah.
yeah. So, because so.
Oh, what a pain in the rear.
Oh man, yeah. It's not like I could use that 350 and something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the same thing happened with another con for Merced, which is north of me here. They basically had a con set up, and I put my $100 down for my little table, and then they had COVID kicked them out, so they moved it down to a whole nother year. I'm concerned that these two cons now are ending up on the same weekend. You know what I mean? Because they've both rescheduled. You know what I mean? And I think they might have actually rescheduled for the same weekend. I'm hoping not. I have to go back and verify all this. You know what I mean? But obviously, Merced will lose out to LA because LA is the bigger con, and
Right.
and if I have to dump money on one versus the other, I'm definitely gonna, I'm gonna go with the one that's gonna be more. But
Sure, absolutely.
But my whole business model, was crowdfunding so I could afford to print stuff, so I would have inventory to take to cons and spread the word and get everything out and all that. And so the fact that COVID has shut down all the cons, it has basically kneecapped me severely. And so I've been putting money out, and the campaigns have been just enough to sustain the process going. You know what I mean? So the campaigns have made enough to just keep Captain Love's surviving. So I would love it if you guys bought more shit.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Welcome, Johnny Rando. Captain Love to the rescue.
Yes, love to the rescue.
Let's spread the love around. Indeed.
Yeah, you know what? I really love all the tongue-in-cheek love references that you can make with the name. I every time I hear one that I haven't thought of, it makes me smile. You know what I mean? I have I have a whole notepad list. You know what I mean? Just of all these different ones that I intend to squeeze in at the right time. You know what I mean? So
that was all organized from the get-go.
Oh yeah, that was part of the plan. Yeah.
Part of the master plan.
Yeah, well, I actually, but I wouldn't have invested, my entire savings and then take on a bunch of credit debt if I didn't think Love had real potential. You know what I mean? I evaluated the character. I did a lot of research before I developed him. You know what I mean? I know that he's a real market friendly character. He's not for young audiences, but you got to realize, I'm sure you do realize that, children don't really buy just any comic. They don't go out and they don't want indie comics. First of all, you know what I mean? Children don't buy indie comics, they don't. Because they first of all, they probably just can't get their hands on them. You know what I mean? So you got to think of that. And then also the graphic when I was writing my first was obviously just a graphic novel, and the graphic novel market, children don't really go after that either. Kids don't they don't save up $25 to go to the store and buy a graphic novel. That's usually the hardcore, adult consumer that is into that product. Yeah. Right. So then I was like, okay, so let's research what graphic novels were selling the best, why, what are their elements, that kind of stuff. Obviously, Saga is probably by far not the best seller, you know what I mean, but it's the most consistent from year to year at the top. You know what I mean? And Saga, I don't know if you've read Saga, but it's it's a sci-fi fantasy. You know what I mean? It's got all like comedy and all kinds of little elements into it. It's not like Captain Love. They're very different. The fact that they're sci-fi is the only thing that's similar to them. You know what I mean? But but I used it as a guide, one of my guideposts to what kind of stuff is popularly consumed. You know what I mean? Right. So it's okay, how much nudity, what level of nudity, what kind of stuff was, how far does this book take it? That kind of stuff. All those elements were measured by not just Saga, but those. But Saga was the one that I gave the most weight to because they were selling so heavily on the regular. Just at the one comic book shop over here, in my town. And there's a few comic book shops, right? But there's, but the biggest, the biggest one in town, they would sell something like 25 copies of Saga, one of the books, you know what I mean? Because they have, like what, 9 now. They would sell one of them like 25 copies a month, right? So if you're thinking about a single store moving 25 copies of Saga a month, you know what I mean? Over, obviously they've been doing it for a long time, so they've been building up an audience and that kind of stuff. So it's popular property, but that is a significant amount of sales. So if you just thought like, okay, so let's say that 10% of the comic book stores across the country were able to produce that kind of relative number. You know what I mean? That would be a lot of sales. That book would be producing a shitload of money. So it's like I thought about that whole market and all that kind of stuff when I was approaching this, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to think about what's going to be consumable as well as something that I'll definitely enjoy. So I spent a lot of time thinking about how to prepare and create the Love series and it's been a massive endeavor that I hope people are enjoying. I mean, so far I've been getting great feedback. Obviously you can't make a noise, put yourself out there without finding some haters.
Right.
But the haters haven't had anything legit to say. They've just said shit that was obviously just BS, just total smoke and mirrors, or people are just, like maybe they're just too prudent, you know what I mean? And they're not really like the core demographic of consumers. So they're outside. So they're going to be like, oh, it's this and it's that. Or they're trying to, like I've had people call it soft porn and it's not even anywhere near that. I mean, seriously, Saga is racier than Captain Love series. You know what I mean? Real seriously, it actually shows more, like way more graphic, and then there's a lot more regular nudity in it than the Captain Love series. But it's just about the way that people are. You know what I mean? In this world, you're going to get hate everywhere you go. There's going to be hate. So you just have to realize that if you're going to face hate, right? What's better weapon than love?
Exactly. That's a good way to put it, for sure. Let's see here. Sam says, you know me, I love phrasing.
Yeah.
Rando says, will comic conventions ever be as popular as they were pre-COVID?
I think they're going to be more popular post-COVID because of the nature of a convention. Like once everybody's not afraid of like catching something anymore, you know what I mean? I think it's going to be different. But see, here's the thing, right? Like COVID has taught the world a whole different way of looking at things. Like the internet has exploded. You know what I mean? People doing these live streams and stuff. I mean, I was already doing them. You know what I mean? A lot of us were already doing them. However, now everybody does Zoom meetings and they do all this stuff and they work on more from home online. The world has changed. It's not going back all the way. You know what I mean? So we're going to have a lot of this. This is going to be a lot more for how people talk to each other. And then this is going to develop and mature and become something crazy in the future, So it's going to be interesting to see how this develops. But as far as conventions go, I would say that people need them more than ever because that's where you get the contact with creators. And what I think is you're going to find out is that eventually there's going to be two different kinds of comic book markets. There kind of already is, but one is still like, developing. The indie market has like made a big shift, in the last few years, and it's been changing with the whole crowdfunding and all that kind of stuff. The comic books has given creators the way to put their stuff out there without having to be the bitch of rich, unknowing CEOs who, want to tell you how to make a comic book instead of letting you do what you feel is natural and right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, every time I let somebody else tell me how to do something, it messes it up. I'll give everybody an example, right? Like say like you are driving and you let your, girlfriend navigate, you know what I mean? And you know where you're going, but you just have her helping out as a double check. You know what I mean? And odds are you're going to get lost. Even when I have Google Maps help me sometimes, like I take a little side route because I know it's better. they'll readjust, and then I'll get lost because for a moment because they've changed the story on me somehow. You know what I mean? These are probably not the best examples. I mean, obviously the best example is like if without, you know, like if you have a boss and you know how this needs to be, and the boss says, no, you got to do it like this. And like, it's going to be maybe going to cost more money, or, you know, not be as attractive, or have a bug in it. If you're a programmer, the boss wants you to do it a certain way, and you know that, okay, well, we're basically putting this idea and this idea together, and there's no bridge between them. You know what I mean? And there's no way to bridge them in current technology. You know, so there's a whole lot of ways to look at this. I'm Mr. Phil with analogies this morning. I'm still drinking coffee, so it's good.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think conventions will come back again. I mean, it's just going to take people getting used to not having to wear masks anymore. It's all a big old mess.
People give a crap, man. They'll go to a convention, mask or no mask. I actually did a convention on the 25th of October. It was a very, very small Roseville Comic-Con. Very small.
You really had one. Wow.
Yeah, they I don't know how they pulled it off, but, you know, I mean, Roseville is a pretty conservative area, so they're probably like able to get away with some stuff. You know what I mean? But this is also right before the spikes again. You know what I mean? So, you know, and then LA is a different area than, you know, Roseville, which is, you know, basically just outside Sacramento. So if you're familiar with California, they're just different worlds from each other.
Did you get a chance to exhibit at that show, or were you just?
Oh no, I had a table, and and I had my Captain Love standee up, and I had all the books out. I made enough. I mean, it was a very small show, very small. I mean, it was, you know, it was like the size of a high school gymnasium, probably. You know what I mean? Maybe twice the size of a high school gymnasium, but it wasn't real big. It wasn't like convention center hall. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was, you know, it was pretty small, but I definitely sold enough product to pay for my table.
Oh, all right.
So, you know, the gas money and all that kind of stuff, we added a couple of stops on the trip to make it into a road trip. You know what I mean? So the road trip was all paid for itself. You know, the road trip wasn't paid for because it was our entertainment part, but the table was paid for by moving product. You know what I mean?
All right.
So
cool.
So I don't really consider it breaking even, but I don't like consider it a loss either. You know what I mean? So it just is what it is. But that's not why you do conventions. Like, I gathered a whole lot of emails when I was there. Basically, everybody who stopped by was, you know, able to, like, hey, yeah, I'll give you an email address, you know, because obviously I had a T-shirt giveaway. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a very smart thing to do when you are trying to develop a fan base, right? That you collect emails. Okay. You know, because how else are you going to market to people? You know, I mean, it's not everybody is in the CG community. They don't all sit around and watch the same videos. And if anybody's been paying attention, the CG community is getting harder and harder and harder to communicate to. There's too many people in there. So the noise factor is getting large. So that means that a lot of people don't hear you when you say something anymore. You know what I mean? So because there's too many people saying stuff. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of people for sure. It keeps growing.
It does. It's probably grown 4 times the size as far as creators. You know, I would say noisemakers. You know what I mean? It's probably grown 4 times the size since this time last year.
Oh man, yeah. I think that's pretty accurate. Johnny Randa says Saga was really good, potentially great. Hope they finish it someday.
Right? It got it. You know what? The first 2 books were awesome, and then after that, it was just okay. You know what I mean? I think it was good. You know what I mean? But I would say the first 2 really were like, wow, I can't wait for the next book. And then book 3, 4, 5, I'm not like all excited about the next one. You know what I mean? But you know, that could be the fact that they decided to focus on certain things that I would have, you know, I would have probably handled it differently, or you know what I mean? Or because I'm just a different kind of person, I would, you know what I mean? I liked it. I didn't love it after that. You know what I mean?
Do you think maybe their production schedule got impacted by the whole COVID thing?
Oh no, they stopped producing well before COVID. They took a break. They're going to do more. They're going to do more.
Oh, okay.
They've promised them. I mean, you know what I mean. They just haven't released them. They're
Oh.
taking a break. I mean, they were doing like, I think they were doing like almost 2 books, like a book and a half a year. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I mean, so they were doing them. They were releasing them as floppies, and then like everybody does, and then at the end of the year, they'd be doing a graphic novel release. You know what I mean? So they were on a tight schedule, and they were doing 30 pagers. You know what I mean? And then with no ads.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and the graphic.
Yeah. Saga is technically considered an indie.
No, it's creator owned. It's Image.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, Image. I don't consider Image indie anymore.
Yeah,
they're a major publisher. They just have creator-owned properties. They're still a major publisher.
Right. Sim says it's like those classic sexy sci-fi flicks from the 70s.
Yes. I would actually like compare it to like Saturn V. You know what I mean? You guys ever see that one with Kirk Douglas and Farrah Fawcett?
Well, that sounds familiar. I don't. You know what's weird? I don't think I've seen that.
I think it's Kirk Douglas. Maybe it was Michael Douglas. Was it Michael Douglas or Kirk Douglas? I always get them confused because as they get older, they become the same man almost.
It seems that way. That's pretty funny. So turning back the hands of time, would you mind like giving us some insight as to how you even got to the point at which you got into?
Oh, it was called Saturn III. My bad. Saturn III.
Ah,
yeah, Saturn III, and it's Kirk Douglas. And also Harvey Keitel is in it, and but Kirk Douglas and Farrah Fawcett. So yeah, Saturn III. My bad. I always have to see. I'm so guilty of being lazy now because Google's my fingertips.
Yeah, I know this.
All right, so you were asking me about. Oh yeah, I love Barbarella. Barbarella's fucking awesome though.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
It was, so you were asking how Captain Love got started? Is that where you were?
Yeah, well, even earlier than that, like, how did you even get interested in comics, or did you? I mean, you're like a jack of all trades, dynamo. You're a musician. You're an artist. You're a creator. All kinds of good stuff. I mean, how did you, from your earliest years in childhood, get to this point where you're now doing crowdfunded comic books?
Okay, well that's interesting. No one's ever asked that much. Well, okay, so most people would.
What's your origin story?
Yeah, most people would see me, as like you said, jack of all trades. I like my favorite term is artisan, because there's no one single art form that I focus on, but it's art forms, that I focus on. I started out, as a kid, basically loving comic books and stories, really good adventure fantasy novels. Movies were still my favorite. You know what I mean? I liked cartoons a little bit, but I really loved movies. Still absolutely love movies. Movies and music, because they can move you. They can change your mind. They can change your spirit. You know what I mean? They can like elevate your mood. They can put you in a bad mood. They can, you know what I mean? They can just, they can really touch you. You know what I mean? Like a good piece of art will do it too. Like a good drawing, a really, really well done drawing. But I mean, a short little video, a song with some dialogue put in a certain way with some motion. I think it's because you can really express the motion with not just one medium. It's not just visual. It's not just auditory. You know what I mean? I think that's why I like film so much, because it's a mix between audio and visual. But obviously, I grew as a kid. I definitely loved comics, loved stories, that kind of stuff. So that whole, thought process medium was there. And then music, my grandfather was a guitar player, and he wanted everybody in the family to know how to play music. And so he
Cool.
taught me how to play guitar. And
And did he like assign a specific instrument to each of the kids, or did you guys?
no, no. It was whatever he could get away with. Like he taught like my mother played piano, and my cousin played violin. Usually the guys were guitar and the girls were piano or some kind of. I think he was a little bit like that, where it was, guys have these kind and girls have these kind. You know what I mean? And, I think, I mean, come on, he you gotta give the man a break. He comes from a different world. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's been passed away a long time now. He was a real important influence in my life, as far as like my parents got divorced when I was real little, and my dad pretty much was like not really in the picture, you know what I mean, at all. Like I know who he is. It's not like I didn't know who my dad was, but
Right,
it's like, but like I think from the time I was 8 years old, him and I virtually spoke not. I mean, like there was some times when I was, visiting them, you know what I mean? Like, because there was like the visitations when I was still
sure,
young, you know what I mean?
totally.
But there wouldn't be much me and dad time. You know what I mean? It would be me there because it's like they were babysitting me, and then I would go home. You know what I mean? It
Oh,
was
yeah,
really weird, So
right.
so yeah, so basically all that kind of stuff aside, I really, because of the everything going on, and me not really wanting to I think it kind of made me kind of like a loner, like an introvert, like having all that go on in my life. And so I really dug deep into things like music and computers and art. Like I really could not draw. I can paint with acrylics on canvas,
Oh,
but I
wow.
can't draw. I don't know why. It drives me crazy. I can draw skulls. I could draw skulls. I could draw motorcycles somewhat. You know what I mean? Because these are things I would doodle in class and for hours. I mean, people are like, oh, well, how do you know you can't draw? I mean, seriously, I spent my entire like junior high career, and some of my high school career, almost every day, all day long, doodling. All right, and I still can't draw. All right, so it's, you know what I mean. It's just not a skill I was born to have. You know what I mean? But I still try. But like I said, I can paint. You know what I mean? So it's like I can manipulate. I can even, paint on the computer. You know what I mean? Like using brushes and creating strokes to create art that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think but when it comes to actually getting it right with pencil to paper, you know what I mean? Draw. My handwriting sucks too. You know what I mean?
A lot of people's handwriting sucks.
Yeah, there's probably just something in between the, you know what I mean, some kind of breakdown in there. It just never happened. I watch other people just do it, and I'm just amazed. I'm like, whatever. It's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? I'll give me a canvas and some acrylics. I'll Bob Ross the shit out of that. I'll show you some happy little trees, man.
For sure. For sure. Sim is saying, yeah, indeed, they inspire movies, small, short videos. There was this one, I don't know if you ever saw it. It was going around the internet. It was like this short, several minute film. I don't know where it was filmed, but somewhere in Asia, I guess. But it was this kid who was trying to shoplift at a store because he needed medicine for his ailing parent. And so the guy catches him and agrees to pay for, the stolen merchandise. And then the kid runs home with the medicine and the soup or whatever. so his parent can get better again. And then years pass, and I guess it's based on a true story because years pass, and that one who made that generous offer to pay for the stolen item when the guy was a kid, he was in need of some surgery or something. And it turns out that the person who was his surgeon was the kid who had to take the medicine in the soup to his parent. And, you know, his, the guy on the having surgery done and his daughter were, you know, like wringing their hands trying to, or the daughter were more so, was trying to figure out how on earth they're going to be able to pay for this surgery.
If you want to share it with the audience, I just put the link to that in the private chat for you to pass on.
Oh, yeah, and that surgeon waived the fee and left a little note, something to the effect, paid in full with a bowl of soup and a bottle of medicine. And that was extremely touching.
Right. Yeah, that one would rip your heart right out. It's a beautiful
Oh,
story.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Sim says, you can even control your mood and productivity with music. It's why music in movies became very important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear from a lot of artists who listen to music in the background.
Yeah.
While they're drawing and painting. Sim says, it's why I listen to all types of music from metal to classical. Sim has beautiful handwriting.
Hey, so we got Russ in the chat. What's up, man? He's got that Only Death Will Save Us.
Oh yeah, Only Death Can Save Us. That's awesome.
Yeah, Only Death Can Save Us. Yeah.
Welcome, Comic Book Black Belt. Hey guys. Sim says the world is small after all, and we all affect each other's lives in a way. Yeah, check out that little short video if you haven't. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, after this stream though.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you got into all kinds of creative ventures. He says, Captain Love looks awesome. Back it now. I have.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for supporting this.
Yeah, I decided on like poetry and music were, I guess you could say, are my first love. You know what I mean? Like of all the art forms, that's where my heart really still kind of like, you know, like lives the most, you know.
Poetry's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's about, you know, using like imagery for me, you know what I mean? And then with music, it's like a combination of like having poetic verse and writing. It's like all these different writing challenges. When I think about writing a song, I don't just like, you know, get something out and boom, it's a song. You know what I mean? I actually focus on like multiple levels of songwriting, from how it's going to affect the person to basically, you know, what the deeper core message is. You know what I mean? But that's just songwriting. You know, the obviously you have to have a good hook. If the song sucks, no one's going to listen to the lyrics anyway. You know what I mean? So it's got to be a good tune. But that was always my first love. I actually, you know, toured on the road for a couple of years, playing in a rock and roll band. We did covers and an album's worth of originals every show. Sometimes we would play up to 6 hours worth of music. So it would be, yeah. Well, it's a long shift, but you got to think, you know, 6 o'clock, you start at, 8 o'clock, 6 to 8, depending on when you pile in, at night, is when the show starts.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to shut down about 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? And you got like little 15-minute breaks in there, but it's a bunch of 45-minute sets,
Wow. Oh man, that sounds like a blast.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, except the road sucks, man. Everybody, it's like if you're rich, the road's probably great. But if you're just a bunch of, broke dick, punks, on a bus, it sucks, man. You're like, it's like you're like, okay, do we have enough money for cigarettes? It's like,
You didn't have several buses worth to hold all your equipment and have full kitchens.
no, we had an agent who would book us. I mean, they were as far as like as far as a touring band that wasn't like we weren't rock star level tour. I mean, we did some shows that were like rock star level size. Like there was the Hash Bash in Rock Island, Illinois. I think it was like 30,000 people. It was an insane show. You know what I mean? It was like a flood. It was like an ocean of people. It was the biggest crowd I've ever seen in my life from the stage. But but it was just a couple of songs, and then we were off. It's like ooh, 15 minutes of what it feels like to be a rock star, then go away. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that scene from the Queen movie where they go to Live Aid at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it was probably about maybe a third of that size.
But even still, if you're used to like working in dive bars and stuff like that, or even small venues,
Right.
oh
yeah, no, yeah.
Incredible.
Oh my god, some of the bars I played in, dude. Okay, like there was this one bar that we played a lot, and I don't know how we did it. Like, okay, there was maybe 6 inches between the drum set when it was set up and the and the edge of the stage, and then right off the edge of the stage was the bar, right? So you have the bartender working there, and then the bar, and then the people are there drinking. You know what I mean? And so the bartender's between you and the audience. Right. And you have to like really like maneuver. You have to choose during the song which side of the drum kit you're going to be on, because you can't move across the other side of the stage, because there's cymbals and shit there. You know what I mean? The song's got to be over, and then you're going to like have to be careful and maneuver over, because you can't do it. You can't do it and look cool. There's only 6 inches of room. You know what I mean? Yeah, it just it was that place we played quite a bit, and oh my god, it was although we had a good following, we sold a lot of merch, and we had a good time. We actually almost got signed, but
really, oh my
god, sad story. One of the guys in the band told a gay joke, and it ruined everything when we at the wrong moment. So
oh man.
Yeah, it happens.
Dang. Everything just over a joke.
You offend the wrong person at the wrong time, it can ruin everything.
Oh, yeah. Good gracious, that's too bad. How did that eventually kind of get you back into the comic scene and give you the drive? Was it really through the poetry and the music that made you start thinking about ideas for comics?
No. The music thing brought me back to California. That was in the Midwest. Brought me back to California. And then I was in a band here, and it fizzled out. But then I started doing some YouTube comedy with friends. You know what I mean? And I was doing I've always done script writing and small skit writing and stuff like that. So I was writing skits and helping produce skits and helping shoot stuff, and you know what I mean, doing a lot of behind the scenes YouTube stuff as well. I had my own comedy channel, but my comedy channel wasn't like a focus. So I was mostly helping other people and friends. One of my friends, she doesn't even have the videos up anymore. She actually became really successful at YouTube when we were working together. And at the time, the YouTube was still only a few years old. And she got real successful, and she actually moved to LA and has been doing YouTube full time for her kid grew up and everything, and you know what I mean. So she so that is like how I got introduced to the online entertainment, you might say, is getting involved in all that from the back end for a while.
Does she give you tips now and then? And
She does. She's not an expert. She's just popular. There's a
oh,
difference. You know what I mean? We helped her become. It's like helped her become very popular. She's, you know what I mean? And then she moved to LA. I'm not in LA. So, you know what I mean? She kind of like started doing her own thing, and all the stuff that we did together, she actually changed her like brand and everything. So she put it all in private. You know what I mean? So like, I can't even like bring up the videos to show you because they're like on private. Yeah.
okay. Right.
But then there's a lot of other stuff out there. Like if I could search it out and find videos that I starred in or I have credit in or whatever. But it's so like not that big of a deal that it's just too much work to do that. I mean, like
Right.
I try to avoid doing that because it's like I have to. It's more work to search for it. You know what I mean? Then because it's you'd be surprised how many people put stuff out there and then 5-6 years later pull it back. It happens a lot. You know what I mean? Because people are always trying to reinvent themselves. They're trying to change their brand. They're trying to change up to stay with the times, and they want to make stuff go away that they like when someone's doing a lot of silly comedy, for instance, you know what I mean? That was edited back in a time that was lower tech, right? Where HD back then was 720. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like if people are trying to set some kind of like, oh, we're only the best of the best kind of presentation, you don't want to show that old shit. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that basically got me started into script writing a lot, and I was writing, and when I was doing YouTube, and then I was doing my own comedy channel for a little bit, but then YouTube had that adpocalypse thing. Which basically I was making like probably around $2,000 on YouTube, and then it stopped, and the next month it was like 50 because they just changed the way the whole system worked.
Oh,
And then traffic died because they removed their whole comedy area. You know what I mean? Like they used to have a whole area dedicated to comedy and what was new and that kind of stuff. And now they don't. Now it's all do-it-yourself videos, and all they care about is that kind of stuff. And you know what I mean? It's gone a whole different business model from what YouTube used to be.
wow.
So anyway, it was not profitable from what I was initially doing. Like for instance, all my comedy videos are like 3 minutes or less. And if your video is not like 10 minutes long, the advertisers really don't care. You know what I mean? And then they base it used to be based on the views, right? So I would have short videos because people would watch the shit out of them if they knew your video was short. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, I can wait a minute and a half. I don't care if it sucks or not. You know what I mean? I'll watch it. You know what I mean? So people watch the hell out of your videos then. And, but YouTube would feed them like crazy if people watched them like that. Nowadays, they don't. Like the video is shorter. It kind of works against YouTube's desire to promote it because they want longer videos to get more attention. They want, you know what I mean? They're focused on a different kind of like structure model. I would love for comedy to kick back again and come back strong. But if you notice, comedy is just not strong on YouTube because YouTube doesn't really support comedy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Maybe comedy is too controversial or something. I don't know. So
yeah, it seems like even comedians are getting, their hands slapped because it's not PC. Sim is asking, will we discover that love is like Samson and his power or immortality resides in his ponytail?
No.
Finally came up with the question. Well, that answers that. So it was through your script writing that got you interested in going back into comics?
Yeah, that's actually how. So like when the apocalypse happened, I actually decided that I was going to stop doing comedy for a while because it was hard to always come up with something by yourself to be funny for your own channel. You know what I mean? Something, because it's different. A lot of people, other, you know, what your taste in funny, other people's taste in funny, always coming up with something, you know, and then it being like short and sweet, and then it just, the formula not working anymore, having to like reinvent it all at that time. I was like, okay, it was like, so I decided I was going to write for myself, a nice 30-minute sci-fi film was my plan, right? And so obviously my stage name was Drew Love. And I figured that if I was writing it, so basically the character and everything developed in that little 30-minute concept. My business partner thought that it was such a great little story concept and all that kind of stuff that had developed out of that, that I should, instead of do it for myself, take it seriously and make a full-length feature film script.
Ooh, wow.
So I did that, and then we were going to shop the script. So we found a storyboard artist to come in and do the storyboards. And the storyboard artist, you know, because we didn't have the backstory in the movie, you just referred to some of the elements of it, that we perhaps do a backstory as a marketing tool of a graphic novel. And then when I was doing all my research and all that kind of stuff, I was like, okay, well, you know what, we could actually do the graphic novel, but take it seriously as a graphic novel, you know, as part of the universe for Captain Love, because the movie, you know, obviously we have to raise a lot of money to make that right. You know what I mean? Because a little 30-minute nothing for me could be done simple. You know what I mean? But if we're going to actually make a full-length feature film, it's going to cost a fortune. So that was it was a whole nother like thing that like that. So the reason why Captain Love had a ponytail, the reason why the name Love came out, obviously was a play on words, but it originated from, a name that I was already using. You know what I mean? So so people like say, well, look, yeah, you know, it's a self-insert. No, it's not. It just developed from something else that I was making for myself, you know, initially, and so the elements just carried over. You know what I mean? It's somewhat coincidence. It was not intended to be some kind of self-insert comic like I'm a fucking superhero. We just say, because a lot of stuff about love did not exist when it was in that 30-minute thing. You know what I mean? You know, he wasn't like immortal. You know what I mean? He was just a space trucker then. You know what I mean? He wasn't even a war hero, really. You know, he was just had a bad attitude.
So when you just real quick, regarding the comedy channel, was that like you doing stand-up routines or something? And
No. Well, we can share this because it won't get your channel struck because I own the copyright stuff to it. So let me just get you a link real quick. Here we go. All right, so in the private chat, I am posting a link for you to the comedy channel.
All right. Laugh therapy. Why did it open in a new window?
But yeah, there's a bunch of silly videos on there.
All right.
Yeah, so that's the comedy channel. You can check that out later, unless you want to inflict them on somebody here. You know what I mean? If you want to pick one, I would say that there's a bunch of short ones in there, but like if you go to the page, you know, like there's if you just go to like, oh, you got one there.
Stop playing. Darn page. I got some stupid software chugging along, sucking up resources.
Hey, Jethro. Hey, how do you get back to the freeway from here? Freeway? Yeah, or anywhere civilized. Oh, well, she's talking like that now. You see,
You got the audio way off the thing. Here you go.
Was it?
The audio is way not matched.
There you go, me all the time. Hey, Jethro, out of that. Hey, how do you get back to the freeway from here? The freeway?
I tell you what, I'll share the screen. How's that?
Well,
All right.
talking like that now. You see, you're gonna go up there about 6
Oh,
or
it
7
is
blocks.
off, isn't
You're gonna
it?
make yourself a right-hand turn. You're gonna go about 2 more
That's
blocks. And you're
interesting.
gonna run into a. There you go,
Oh.
me on sign. I mean, this big. Let me tell you, that old boy was proud of that thing. Now, right there at that neon sign, you see, you're gonna want to make yourself a right-hand turn. Remember that. Right-hand turn.
Wait,
You're
wait,
gonna
hold on,
wanna
hold
make a
on.
right-hand
What the
turn, but
heck?
you're not really
Why
going
is
to.
it
You're
still
gonna actually
playing?
make a left there. See?
I don't know. You got it playing on your end somewhere.
Another 2 or 3 blocks. Remember that? 2 or 3 blocks. I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, I must have it open in 2 places.
Let me tell you.
Probably.
A bunch of them big old shiny ass bait boats. Matter of fact, right there, you're gonna go about 10 or 8 miles right there, and you're gonna run right into that right there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you find it? All right, here we go. We'll play the same one now. Hey, Jethro. Hey, how do you get back to the freeway from here?
The freeway?
Yeah, or anywhere civilized.
Oh, well, if you're talking like that now, you see here, you're going to go up there about 6 or 7 blocks, and you're going to make yourself a right-hand turn. You're going to go about 2 more blocks, and you're going to run into a big old neon sign. I mean, it's big. Let me tell you, that old boy was proud of that thing. Now, right there at that neon sign, you see, you're going to want to make yourself a right-hand turn. Remember that, right-hand turn. You're going to want to make a right-hand turn, but you're not really going to. You're going to actually make a left there. See? Now, right there, you're going to make that left, and you're going to go up another 2 or 3 blocks. Remember that, 2 or 3 blocks. I'm not sure what it is, but you're going to see a big old bass bait shop right there. Let me tell you, it's going to probably have a bunch of them big old shiny bass bait boats in front of it. As a matter of fact, right there, you're going to go right, go about 10 or 8 miles right there, and you're going to run right into that right there. You got that there? Or I guess you could just make a right out of here.
All right, how much is that?
How much is it? Looks like pretty much $18 to me.
Here you go. Keep the change.
Guess that douchebag thinks I actually work here.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
So that gives you an idea what that's all about.
Alrighty.
Just silliness, just straight silliness.
Yeah, for anyone interested in checking out some comedy, click on that link. Let me make. Oh.
But yeah, that's basically what I did on YouTube for a long time. Just being silly, making videos with friends, making videos for friends, you know, writing silly scripts.
Cool. Let's see here. Pale Rider, welcome. Are you planning on going to CG Con? And if so, will you have trucker booth girls?
I would say yes and yes, except we don't know when there's going to be a CG Con because of COVID is still shut everything down. So we'll have to see what occurs. But yeah, if I go to CG Con, I'll be bringing probably some booth girls with me. I know that a trip to the East Coast will be something that my friend Sparkle will be into. So she'd be like, "Oh, I'm in." You know what I mean? So just so she can get to the East Coast.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's tentatively been moved from May 2021 to sometime in the fall 2021.
Right, but if the let me just tell you that if the convention center is not already like held and rented out, you know what I mean, with some kind of deposit, it's going to be until they've reserved a spot and laid a deposit. I'm not going to even like move a muscle.
Right. Yeah. you got to make sure something solid is down on it. That makes sense.
Yeah, just because it's unreliable. Yeah, I've already had 2 conventions with, you know, like sizable deposits switch on me. You know what I mean? It's like you know, and they may have even ended up on the same weekend.
The cantina song.
That's my ringtone. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Pale Rider says, "Love you, WyzGyz. You always look stoned out of your gourd." Probably because I've got the weirdest sleep schedule, and sometimes I stay up way longer than I should. Man, Captain Love. This is a sequel.
Yeah, so we're actually on the 3rd campaign. So this is the 2nd book. I'm doing these books in you know, chapters, and each chapter is an issue. So obviously we're in the first of those books. So you could think of the first book that came out, Hero of the Cleansing, as like an issue 0, if that helps.
Oh,
you know,
all right.
You know what I mean? And so then Rise the Pirate King is going to be 6 issues, 6 chapters. You know what I mean? So that will be basically, yeah. So you can see there's 3 campaigns, right? So obviously, Rise of the Pirate King has chapter 1 and chapter 2. So that's technically issue 1, and chapter 2 is issue 2, right? And it's done. It's, you know, obviously I'm still tweaking the letters and stuff like that before I finalize it because I can, but it's done, and it's ready to go. And to go to print, and so, you know, as soon as the campaign ends, you know, I'll and I get the books into my hands, I'll be doing fulfillment. You know, I intend to get that in everybody's hands by Christmas. You know, obviously, if you're out of the country, it's unlikely. I want to promise, but the mail is unreliable right now, so I'm not making any promises. But I'm going to try to get it in everybody's hands by Christmas.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I did that last year. Everybody got their Captain Love, Hero of the Cleansing, you know, that order during the campaign period. They all got it by Christmas. So
nice, yeah.
And then chapter 1's already been fulfilled. Everybody's got theirs, you know. And then chapter 2 is still an active campaign. Got like 20 days left on it. You know what I mean? I would really appreciate it if everybody, you know, hopped in. The numbers are not high enough. I mean, they're high enough. I mean, for, you know, like the way I do my campaign model, right, is a businessman's model, right? So I don't like go in and say, okay, if I can't get the whole money to produce this comic, I'm not doing it, like some people. You know what I mean? I actually pay to have the book done before I even launch my campaign. Right. So I need to raise enough money to print the books that I need so that I can go to cons with it or whatever, you know what I mean, is the business model. And then obviously have enough to also fulfill everybody who orders. Right. So that's where I get the minimum 1,500. Right. So when I hit that, I'll have enough to do all that. But I'm still losing production costs if that's all I make. Right.
Okay. All right.
All right. So now we have gone to the point to where I'm closer to getting all my money back for production costs on chapter 2, but we're not there yet. You know what I mean? So I'm still technically losing money at this point. You know what I mean? It's not going to stop it from happening. You know, it's already made. You see, that's the thing. It's already made. But you know, for everybody who understands that this is a rough game for people, you know what I mean? It's like Captain Love. You know, I want to keep it coming at a regular pace to everybody. I need to be able to have the money to do that. Otherwise, I mean, think about it. If you had to if you had to pull out of pocket to create something so that everybody could enjoy it, you know what I mean? That's a little bit painful and it's difficult.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do this long game. Obviously, if conventions were going, all the inventory that I had would probably have sold by now. You know what I mean? And, you know, because that was the game plan. Like summer and spring, I would have had the ability to sell all my inventory and maybe even like upped more inventory. But all those conventions were canceled. You know what I mean? So I didn't have the ability to reach and find new fans and sell material, and the option was just not available. All there has been was this. This is all there's been, is these online, you know, intervals, and I'm hardcore CG. Anybody who knows me knows I'm hardcore CG. You know what I mean? It's like this is the community. It's you know, this is what we do. We stick to each other's backs. We promote each other. We, you know, promote indie comics like crazy. We try to build a whole market. Later, Sam. See you, brother. You know, we try to build the market, and you know, if you are in the community, and you know, if you're not in the community, it's okay. If you like indie comics, if you loved Flash Gordon, if you like Buck Rogers, if you are, you know, somebody who is a big fan of Han Solo, you know, I mean, if you like comic books and you like graphic novels, you need Captain Love in your life. Seriously, this is a great product. You know, it's going to be around for a long time. You know, unless I die tomorrow, Captain Love is going to be around for a long ass time. So, you know, you're going to want to get these floppies, because they're going to be, there's only 1,000 printed of the floppies. You know what I mean? I don't, you know, unless, which I don't really foresee as pattern has projected up to this point, unless one of these future chapters, somebody decides to like really explode the buying, and they buy a whole mess of, like, they want to buy, you know, like it becomes like something happens, some miracle happens, and Captain Love starts selling like crazy. You know what I mean? I may do another run of the previous chapter sales if I don't have enough. You know what I mean? To meet demand. But the idea was to only produce 1,000 of each of these chapters, so that they would be collector's items at those numbers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Obviously, as this book progresses, you know what I mean, through the rest of the chapters, if by some miracle of God, I get a demand, if people want 5,000 copies because the book has just exploded, and you know, it's so unlikely, but I keep the contingency in my mind. I'm not going to shortchange myself and not sell back issues because people want to get them. You know what I mean? So like if I have, you know, 5,000 orders of chapter 4, right? Obviously, I'm going to consider upping my counts of the previous chapters, you know, to match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But right now it's all set for one. So if one of the future chapters spikes up the numbers, that will change the model. However, so far, if you're smart, you understand that the first runs will still be first runs. So if you're a collector, right, these will definitely still be valuable. And then, because they're the first runs, you know what I mean? So if you get your hands on a chapter 1 and a chapter 2 right now, you're still working with first run. In fact, the Hero of the Cleansing is still first run right now. If you need the Hero of the Cleansing variant, you have to go back to the Hero of the Cleansing campaign, though, because that variant is not available on this campaign. Only the Vinny variant is, and that was just, you know, a recent variant. The initial variant, I promised everybody that variant would only be available from campaign-wise on the first campaign. I know that's a lot to. I'm getting probably like talking people in circles who are watching. So
so when you do get to the point at which you start doing second printings, are you going to vary the color scheme or the imagery on the covers to differentiate them, or are you going to have?
I will definitely make something different. I might make a different color. I may you know, even do a different cover. You know what I mean? I might do a completely different cover for second printings.
Or maybe you have a little blurb on the inside, like.
Oh no, they'll definitely be. It'll definitely say so on the inside. I clearly state all, like, if you open up my credit page on any of the books, you can see there's a paragraph at the bottom that tells you all the technical info. You know what I mean? Like, not technical info, you know, basically all the copyright information, all that. But it says right at the beginning of that if it's a first printing.
Nice. Yeah.
You know, and if it's a second printing, first printing, it's going to be spelled out right on the credits page, so everybody will be able to identify that. So
let's watch this promo trailer.
all right, I'm sure you've seen it.
Mr. E Comics.
Hi, my name is Drewish, and I'm the author of the Captain Love series. I'll tell you all about the second book, Rise of the Pirate King. Yeah, that's a thing. And in this book, you're gonna get everything that you would expect from Captain Love. Yeah, you bet. And I'm blessed enough to be able to use an amazing creative team. If you know what I mean, it feels like the universe is caving in and love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again. And love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Alright. Now, Captain Love is a space trucker and a former war hero. There is even
No.
a legend that he may be immortal. He's accompanied by Spade, who is a living AI. Yes, I said immortal. As in, he cannot die. And it feels like the universe is caving in. Love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again. And love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Oh yeah.
A trip out on how StreamYard will change the speed of the song.
In this book, look at space pirates, sexy girls and science monks.
I wasn't sure if it was specifically my end or what the heck's going.
Yeah. And swearing within, so this book is mature. That means it's not made for children. And you feel like the universe is caving in. Now we love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again. Now we love to the rescue. Captain 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 Love to the rescue. Thank you for your time. Please back Captain Love and help me share this character with the whole world. And if you're not too busy, like and share this video and help me spread the love. Stay awesome.
I'm glad Eric's here. Now we got to start all over.
The what was that?
Eric McIntyre says, "Okay, I'm here. You can get started now."
All right. Encore.
Hi, my name is Drewish, and I'm the author of the Captain Love series. I'll tell you all about the second book, Rise of the Pirate King.
Actually, why don't you go ahead and stop that and play the second video on there? Go ahead and stop that, and then see the second video. Yeah, play that one.
Greetings, my name is Spade. That stands for Synchronized Protocol Artificial Intelligence Delegate, and I am living software. I want to tell you about this amazing person I'm blessed enough to be companions with. Name is Love. Captain Love is a space trucker and a famous war hero. He once saved the solar system from Madman's reign. Some people believe him to be immortal, but if you were to ask him, he would say he just hasn't died yet. Captain Love regularly, and somewhat reluctantly, finds himself on wild adventures that could potentially change the course of the solar system. There always seems to be a friend of his in trouble, and some sinister person, evil organization, or jealous husband trying to kill him. Sometimes it's friends, or a woman's attention that gets him in what seems like a tough situation. But regardless, I am always there with him. I look after him, and I know him better than anyone ever will. He is a really good man, no matter what anyone else says.
And you feel like the universe is giving helping love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right up there. Helping love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue.
Were you the lead singer on your cover band?
Yeah, I was actually. Yeah, I didn't even play an instrument in that band when we were on the road. I
Oh,
just
really?
sung. Yeah, I just sang and I wrote lyrics for the music that we wrote as a band. We were what we call a blue-eyed soul band. We were like blue-eyed funk. Yeah. So,
okay. I thought you might have been like been the guitarist as well.
No, actually, I didn't play guitar in that band. I did play guitar in a band that I had here in California for a while and stuff like that. But no, I don't really see myself as a guitarist. I play guitar to write songs, and I can accompany myself with guitar. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I know how to play guitar. I can play blues guitar all right, all that kind of stuff. But man, there's so many guys out there that just make me look infantile on guitar. I mean, there's so much better. You know what I mean? It's just a joke for me to like say, oh yeah, I'm a guitarist. You know what I mean? It's like, no, someone's gonna show me up in a fucking heartbeat. You know what I mean? So,
You don't
but
have
a songwriter. I'm a hell of a songwriter. So.
okay. So you don't have like guitar competitions with Eric Clapton and Slash and people like
Hell
that?
no. I did play guitar on this song though. You know what I mean? So
Oh.
I played both guitar tracks and I programmed the bass MIDI on it and programmed the drums and sang on it, sang backups, did the whole thing.
Is Captain Love is that Captain Love's official theme song?
At the moment,
All right,
yes,
cool.
yeah. The chorus is, yeah. So
That's my jam. Captain
Thank you,
Love
Eric.
to the rescue. I love the art of this book. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
Looks like you got anatomy down pat. Who did the voice in the second video?
That's my friend Sparkle. My friend Sparkle Susan. Yeah.
Is she a voice actor?
Yeah, she does voices. She actually is an actress as well. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She has a talk show on Thursdays at 7 Eastern that she does off on Facebook and YouTube. If you go to if you guys looking for her, youtube.com/everything sparkle TV, and I believe facebook.com/everything sparkle. And if you want her on Twitter, it's fitness_sparkle. So I help her with her marketing, so I know these things.
Right, so youtube.com/everything sparkle.
Everything Sparkle TV off of YouTube.
And then Facebook is Everything Sparkle TV, or just Everything Sparkle.
I think it's just Everything Sparkle. Yeah.
And then what was the other one? Instagram or Twitter?
On Instagram it's Sparkle Susan. It's SOOJA. No, JI. Oh man, I don't know, man. So I have to type it out. Sparkle Susan, JIAN. It's Armenian, so however they spell it. And then on Twitter, it's fitness_sparkle.
All right.
Yeah, it's JIAN.
SOOJI. I mean,
S. Yeah.
F.O.J.A.I.N.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put the in the private chat.
All right.
That's the Instagram. That's the Twitter.
I'm going to make a string out of it, but if you've already got it.
Well, I just painted. I just gave you the.
Oh, all right. Sparkles. J-I-A-N?
Yes.
Oh, I transposed them. All right. My bad.
Yeah, she's been on Horror Talk a few times. She promotes Captain Love. She's a good friend. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I help her out with her marketing and stuff, and and then she we're good friends. We've been good friends for a while now. So.
Right on.
Yeah, it helps that like I need an actress for something. She's like at the ready. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
cool.
then obviously she's like gone to hang out and draw attention at conventions and stuff. So
was she the one you were referring to who loved to travel to Florida?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she'd be down for that trip for in a heartbeat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome, Bristolian Dave. Hey, all. Awesome. So let's see. Chapter 2 is 24 full color pages and the second of 6 chapters. Each chapter ranges from 24 to 32 pages in length. This is part of an ongoing series featuring Captain Love. So does the length of it basically just depend on how much story you need to fit in to make it?
Yeah, that basically I actually tell people 36 versus 32, but the truth of the matter is so far every chapter has only been 24 pages.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I tend to outline my books ahead of time, right? But when I come down to actually the final writing, I make sure that I don't write, like, for instance, chapter 3 wasn't written out until I saw all the artwork for chapter 2 done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I there may have been something that I decided I wanted to change based on the visuals,
Mm-hmm.
And so I give myself the extra 8+ pages, you know what I mean, to work with in case I need them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So for instance, until I see the artwork for, completely done for chapter 3, you know what I mean, I'm not going to write all the details out for chapter 4. You know what I mean? It's just, I have them all outlined. I have like books, like story arcs after story arcs out on the outline. It's just when it comes down to writing what the actual page description is and the actual dialogue, the final version that I give to the illustrator, I don't write those out until I've seen what the previous chapter is done, just because I don't want to have to go back and change stuff. And then, oh, wait, this isn't in line now anymore. It's no longer linear, because like if I wrote, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, all completely done, this is how it's going to be. Right. Mm-hmm. And then the artist changes something that I would want to change in one of these chapters, right? That thing would have to change linear in any other place that it also existed. You know what I mean?
So you have the entire 6 chapters outlined already?
Oh yeah, I have them completely outlined. I even have like what happens on what page, more or less, outlined. Roughly. You know what I mean? It's like I have it. I have what I would do. You know what I mean? If nothing changes, you know what I mean? It's all set. Now, if there's any changes, you know what I mean, then obviously I'll adjust, and I give myself, again, like when I'm writing it all out, I may want to tell more. I may say, you know what, I want to add more to this now. You know what I mean? So I can stretch it out as much as 8 pages. So I give myself that. So
Eric is asking, who is the artist for the book?
The artist's name is Andrea Bormida. He is an Italian illustrator.
Italian, nice.
Yeah.
How did you come across his work or find him?
He found me actually on LinkedIn. He hit me up. He said he was looking for work. So I don't even know how like he knew I was needing an illustrator because I wasn't putting the word out really that much. So.
Oh, all right. So he wasn't. He didn't approach you initially to do something musical in nature. It
Mm-mm.
was actually for illustration.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I had an illustrator that did the storyboards. I used that illustrator first,
Uh-huh.
and he did half the book. But then he had like a drug problem, so there was no like he was just sucking up money and not getting me stuff. You know what I mean? And so I had to cut him off. I lost a lot of money on that, and then I got this other illustrator. I would basically had stopped. I mean, when that happened, I was like, "Screw it, Captain Love is dead. The project's dead."
Well,
Then this other illustrator found me on LinkedIn and asked me, you know what I mean? And I was all like, "Okay, you know what? I still have some money left. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and finish the other half of the book." You know what I mean? And so he drew the second half of the book, and then the work was so much better than the first half. I paid him to draw the first half again, right? Which that was money on credit card because I didn't have that left over, you
right.
know? So,
Consistent
yeah,
through the whole book.
yeah, exactly. And so that cost me a fortune to get the first book out. I mean, it cost me an absolute fortune. And I still haven't made that money back. I mean, I'm still upside down on that. But we're still pushing forward because eventually, you know what I mean, the world will come back to life and Captain Love will catch on, and we'll get enough product out there to where I will probably someday be able to pay myself, and that'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But until then, it just keeps going, and we'll just keep putting books out. And I got to do them like this. One chapter at a time when I can afford them. You know what I mean? So it's just going to keep going out like that. If the campaigns were doing better, if we were pulling 15K during the campaign process, I would feel more comfortable. Moving faster.
Right.
But I can't guarantee the campaign feed finances feed to move as fast as I'd like.
Mm-hmm.
So we're probably going to be looking at chapter 3 probably coming out. Looks like probably around March. You know what I mean? I was going to probably try and do a January release, and you know what I mean. But from what this campaign has taught me, it's going to have to wait till March. We're probably going to only be able to do 2 a year, and it's going to take forever to get the book done. You know what I mean? At 2 a year, but until the demand steps up, it's you know what I mean. It's I mean, if as often as people will do it as often as I would love to do a campaign a month. You know what I mean?
Oh man! Wow.
I would love, or like I'm running this campaign and then fulfilling the previous one at the same time. You know what I mean? I would do that constantly if I could, but that's the audience isn't there right now. So it's not that the money is not there. I mean, they exist.
Right.
I mean, they just don't know Captain Love is here, or you know what I mean, or they exist and they are. They just don't know Captain Love's here. I mean, the future fans are out there. They just haven't found the book yet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What inspired Captain Love? He seems to have a Han Solo vibe to him.
Yeah, Han Solo is my favorite Star Wars character, so yeah, there's definitely some Han Solo soul to Captain Love. Also, Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, James Bond. The list goes on and on of things that I have loved about other characters that I emulated into creating my own.
No, yeah, I love those all. I love them all the ones you mentioned.
Oh man, I had to buy some Flash Gordons. I used to have a pretty good beat up red collection. Like I was never a person that put all my comic books in, plastic and stored them. You know what I mean? In fact, we were very common when I was a child that we would trade comics. Like when I was done reading it, I would go to my friend's house who had a comic book that he was done reading, and we would switch. You know what I mean? And we would. It was a lot. That was very common, especially with Heavy Metal magazine. You know what I mean? That's how we got. That's how we read them all. We would trade them out. You know what I mean? And so like that's basically what I was used to doing as a kid. So I never really had that many. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have a collection of comics from when I was a kid. I mean, I really don't. I mean, everything got traded out, or you know what I mean, got torn up and used, and got lost in the mix somewhere over time. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in my life that just disappeared. Like even like my high school yearbooks, my high school diploma, all that stuff. The tangible stuff is all gone. It's like that kind of stuff happens sometimes in life. So basically gotta spread the love around. Yes, please spread the love around. Spread it around. Get it all on everything. I got distracted. The phone ring threw me off. I was saying something. What was I saying?
You were covering how, finding the audience, and also Han Solo being one of your inspirations. And
yeah, we got through that.
Oh, you went to your comic book collection. There wasn't.
Oh yeah. That I didn't have that I don't have a comic book collection, but I just recently bought some older issues of Flash Gordon.
Oh wow.
The ones that I've read before. You know what I mean? I'm an old man. Flash Gordon was, a comic from the 70s and 80s, as well as there was a version from the 60s. So it's like, it depends on which version you were reading. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's the old retro one that existed, like Bronze Age. Then there was the Flash Gordon that was Silver Age, So, well, yeah. No, do they consider Silver Age the 80s, 70s, 80s? Or is that still Bronze?
I have no clue. I can never keep them straight.
In my mind, 60s, and that's Bronze Age, and for me, when I was a kid reading them, I think Silver Age, and then when the 90s came around and they changed the print quality, I considered that the Golden Age, and then now there's current Modern Age, which is where we're at now. That's kind of where my mind is on that. So I don't know what the real rules are. I have to look that up. Anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat know? Anybody?
Yeah, hopefully. Have you been on a lot of promotional channels?
I have. The thing is that there's just so much people out there with product, that they're all pimping. It's you would think as many people as I promoted, that it'd be really easy for me to promote my book at this point. Right. You know what I mean? Right. You would think, considering I have helped a lot of people raise money for their books over the years. But everybody's not everybody I promoted does promotion. A lot of them don't even share links. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like one of those things where I don't promote other creators so that they'll promote me back, because if I did that, I would have maybe a 15% return rate. So it would become not worth doing at that point. You know what I mean? I can't think of it as a return rate. It's not transactional for me.
Yeah.
But if you don't promote me back, bitch, fuck you. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I can't. It is what it is. Captain Love has to. People have to get out there and get in to know of it. It's just. I try to tell everybody. You know what I mean? I maybe I don't put a sense of urgency on it, but fuck, man, I need the money. So back Captain Love, goddammit. There's some great packages on here. If you have not had Captain Love yet, I got you a fucking massive deal. $40. You'll get a graphic novel, chapter 1 and chapter 2 when chapter 2 fulfills. You know what I mean? You got to think about that. If you go to a comic book store, you can't even spend that and get that. You know what I mean? At the actual LCS. You know what I mean? You'd be spending what for a graphic novel? You're gonna maybe you would. You'd be spending fucking $25 for a graphic novel, and then $5 each, roughly $4 or $5 each for the comic for the issues. You know what I mean? So that's what that's 10 and 35. So they're roughly, but then I got to ship this shit. You know what I mean? So $40 is a deal, man. So $40 is a deal.
Yeah. And it's good that you made it clear that this book is rated mature.
Yes.
Due to the sex, violence, profanity, nudity, and other mature themes. Not designed for children.
No, it is not. If you want to give it to your kids, they'll appreciate it, I'm sure. But it's not designed for them.
Yeah. Sure.
Like I read heavy metal when I was 7. You know what I mean? It was a little bit mature for me, but I still dug all the titties a lot and a lot of the themes. I didn't understand everything. I was only 7.
Yeah.
But I dug it. You know what I mean? It may have warped me a little bit, just saying. But I dug it.
Eric says, I never knew what age fell into which decade, just as long as she is 18 plus. Well, terrible joke, but I regret nothing. Exactly.
Yes. Make sure you get a photograph of that ID. Just saying.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like, excuse me, honey, can I see your ID? Thank you.
Yeah, but nowadays, they have fake IDs made.
Yeah, well, that's okay. You can be fooled by fake ID and then claim that in court.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a good point.
I got a picture, man. I got a picture.
I got some physical evidence here. So since you're working to break even and everything, how do you manage to cover free domestic shipping within the U.S.?
Well, basically, I put it all into one number for my pricing model. So I include the shipping into the pricing. So it's not like it's free shipping. It's just that there's no shipping thing. So saying that shipping free in the U.S. is an actual easy way to just explain that I put the shipping into the pricing model.
Okay, all right.
I could charge more, you know what I mean? I really could, except that here's the thing, right? I'm trying to keep this sustainable, and I want this to be something where people feel like they're getting a really good value from me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving what other people are charging $15 for what would be $5. So like you see $15 here for a 24-page book. That's what you think of when you're thinking ComicsGate pricing. $15, 24-page book. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you expect to pay another $10 on your shipping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, that $10 is included into that 15, so I'm really charging you $5 for the book.
Holy crap! Which makes it an even more of a steal.
Yeah, I'm just letting you. But see, the thing is, it makes my gut flip to charge $10 shipping for a $5 book. Right. So I put them together in a package, and then you also get the stretch goals and shit like that. And it becomes worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see your point. So you got the chapter 2 cover art. That's looking pretty nice.
Yeah. Chapter 2 cover art's by Henry Ponciato.
Henry Ponciato.
Yeah. Or Ponciano or whatever. I'm horrible, but like names. So, I know it's something like that. I have it spelled out where his poster is. In fact, if you scroll down, you can see the poster works that he did. He's actually done my favorite poster. It's actually a depiction of Jean, which surprised me when it became my favorite poster. It's all the way down beneath the campaign art. There you go. That's Vinny Tartamella's poster.
Oh yeah.
And then underneath that is the Andrea Bormida's poster, and then under that is Henry Ponciano. That's Levin Jean, and then under that is Jean by herself, which is actually my favorite poster so far out of all the stuff. I just love that piece.
That one's cool.
Yeah, I'm just in love with that piece. His artwork, I'm really fond of his artwork. I mean, this guy is doing like amazing art. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's just like I really like scroll back up. I mean, you see Love and Jean. It's like it's there's like a whole like dynamic of the two of them. You know what I mean? Like you can tell they're friends. I mean, it's like
I love this one too. Yeah.
yeah. It's just he's just great. You know, he's just great. Nothing against Andrea Bormida. I mean, scroll up, you know. I mean, but it's like I'm really liking Henry's work a lot. So,
well, what I like about it is, you know, it's like it represents solitude, and you got the darkness, the deep black, which makes the name pop, and make her uniform pop, and then the back outside this viewport is the vastness of space, which like adds a heavier level of solitude, like making you wonder if you're alone in space.
Yeah, but he didn't like so his Gene poster, like he didn't just do some kind of like, you know, like pinup pose or something either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He like took Captain Love concepts in a nice, serious approach to the Jean character. You know what I mean? He didn't like make her all tongue in cheek or whatever. He made her, you know, like she would really be. She is also a trucker. She's Love's best friend. They were in the war together. You know what I mean? She is a badass, but she's also, you know, a space trucker. Solitude. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like he knocked it out the goddamn park. You know what I mean? I was just like, man. So yeah.
That was a good piece.
Yeah, and this poster is on these posters are available on the campaign. So that you already have Captain Love. If you already got your fix of Captain Love product, get posters.
Yeah.
You can pick whatever 3 you want. You can have the same one 3 times. You can have there's a couple of preset ones if you want. You can get all 6. You can get them with the t-shirts. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of options here. Yeah, these posters are great. I can't wait till I can get them all printed, and I already have the Vinny one printed.
Nice.
From the Chapter 1 campaign. It was available after the fact. But the rest of them I haven't seen printed. I know they're going to come out awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, but I have like frames all waiting for them.
Oh, sweet. I want to see more of this gal in blue too.
That's actually that girl. That gal in blue is that's Andrea Bormida's depiction of Jean.
Oh, so, all right.
Yeah, that's Jean there. So like if you scroll up, see that Jean in the blue is because that's did you get yourself a copy of Hero the Cleansing, the first book? I think you won one. Did you even win one? I think maybe or anything. It's like
I got one, but I don't know if it was Hero the Cleansing because Hero the Cleansing is issue 0, right?
Right. It's the 72-page graphic novel.
Yeah, I might have missed that one. I think I have issue 1, but
you have the Chapter 1 floppy, right?
I think so. Let me see. Let me go check something here real quick.
Now that I have you all to myself.
Yeah, I literally have a huge stack of ComicsGate's books behind me. And I figured maybe I can sift through this real quick and find it. I forgot where in the pile it is.
Well, if it was the graphic novel, you'd be able to see it because it would be thick. So if it's in a bag and boarded, it's Chapter 1.
That. I gotta say Captain Love trading cards. That was one of the prizes from Sunday bingo. That's always a blast.
Yeah. I'm actually going to be making a set of Captain Love cards very soon. I don't know what illustrator I'm going to have make all the characters yet, though. Okay. I haven't decided. I'm going to pick somebody who's going to do just good. I kind of want them to be like epic, you know, like you would expect like a deck of cards to be.
Okay.
But I'm trying to decide if I want to have the girls be sexy or not so sexy or mature. You know what I mean?
Right.
More mature, more fun. You know. I don't know. I want to kind of like, you know, expand the look of the universe a little bit. You know what I mean? Like not change it, but kind of like make sure that people understand it can fit into a lot of different fields. You know what I mean? So like when people are doing fan-based artwork, they can kind of go with their own styles.
Right. Looks like I got the comic book one.
Ah, okay.
Finding I must have gotten the floppy, but I know I got it because you sent it to me.
Yeah.
And I remember getting posters. So these posters here, are they like folded in half and stuff?
No. Nope.
How
Nope.
these posters?
They come in a tube.
Oh, right. Okay. Sweet. I like the bigger ones myself. I mean, I've been collecting like movie posters. So the ones I hang on the wall are literally the 24 by 36.
See, I actually am considering doing a run of full-sized posters for Captain Love. But I don't know which art I'm going to use for those or what. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because obviously a full-size poster run is more expensive to ship. You know what I mean? It's more a lot more work to store. You know what I mean? Because they're bigger, so they take more storage. So
yeah, you guys stick it all in your garage or whatever. So then
right, and 11 by 17 is a 11 by 17 is a common size for comic book fans. This is why I chose that one. So
right, yeah, I noticed a lot of posters I get from campaigns are those dimensions.
Well, yeah. Also, if you go like to like conventions and a lot of artists that have like their work that they've done prints of, you know what I mean? It's also 11 by 17 because that's usually what people draw comic pages in. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's like the standard size. So.
Come on now. Yeah, I came into Captain Love when you released the book.
Yeah, so you have chapter 1. Okay, sweet.
Man, I'm kind of bummed that I missed out on the other one.
Oh, it's not. You haven't missed out. It's still available. So
the
Hero of the Cleansing. Yeah,
Hero of the Cleansing.
Yeah, that campaign's still active. I mean, not active. I mean, it's still in demand.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Here, I'll give you a link. I can just type that one in here to the private chat for you.
And then here's something I was wondering.
The two-sided.
Yeah.
You could pick which one you wanted.
What made you decide to do a two-sided one?
Because not everybody hangs them up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you're just putting it in your little you just save it forever. You know what I mean? That's why I did that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So that link I just sent you will take you to the original campaign.
Ooh, cool. All right.
Now the first book is available on this campaign. You know what I mean? Also, but if you want it like an immediate fix for people who are looking for just the first book, you would have to go to that campaign, which is right there. He just posted a link in the chat.
Cool deal. Nice. I gotta check that out. Let me see here. So
yeah, there's also an exclusive variant. There's exclusive variant available and trading cards available on that campaign also. So
nice.
Now this is you see here the exclusive variant. There actually was 6 available. Now there's 7 because somebody fell into hard times and they refunded. So one of them came back. You could say, yeah.
Okay.
But there's only 7 of the Vinnies left of the Vinny variant, the Vinny artwork.
Oh man, yeah. Get in on that. Back this book. I'm going back through and admiring the artwork here.
Yeah.
All these different types of robots. I like seeing what kinds of robots people come up with. Robots and aliens.
Right. No aliens as of now, just maybe some alien creatures like on Europa and stuff like that, but none of them, no intelligent alien life introduced into the series yet.
Oh, okay. Is this oh wait. Is this 2 aircraft? 2 spaceships?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I see it now. They look kind of like a boomerang, and they each have like a little tail.
Mm-hmm.
They have ponytails. All right. Those are cool. That looks like Vegas. Like, yeah.
It is basically a nightclub / hotel. It's actually I don't have a picture of it here, but in the video there's a scene where you see the House of Kronos, which is what that is. The House of Kronos is a bar that's a big huge spaceship that has landed on Titan, and it's basically a bar and hotel. That, because Titan is, a moon of Saturn, and it's out in the middle of nowhere. And there's not like, too much. It's not really a hospital environment out that far. Yeah.
Okay. I'm digging the long dining table.
Yeah. That's a fun scene. I can't wait till people read that part.
And then we got the AI. I liked how in the second video she says something to the effect, I have the honor or privilege to accompany Captain Love.
Right.
There's a ship. I love the windows and how it's like 3 tiers.
Yeah. It is. It's basically a 3-story vehicle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, people like try to compare it to a Winnebago, but there is a little bit of throw to that. It's a tiny bit, you know what I mean? Because it was just when we were inventing it, that was like, little tongue-in-cheek element. But it's really supposed to be like a flying brick. It's really basically a flying brick, But so the living quarters is at the bottom level, with the biggest storage area, right? And then the middle area is mostly storage in the back, and in the front is the flight deck, And then the very top is a combination of storage and hardware tech. You know what I mean? Like stuff that runs the ship, you know what I mean? And then the flight, and then the star deck, which is where you can, still drive the ship to some degree. But basically you can stand it and get a good view of space. So
nice. Have you thought about, doing like blueprints of the spacecraft?
In fact, in the first book, there is a schematic of the craft itself at the very back. Yeah.
Cool.
And I will be doing more. I will be doing more of that kind of stuff. In fact, I have plans to do a schematic poster, but the 3D model's coming out first.
Oh, 3D model. Nice.
Next will be.
Oops. Sounds like you're cutting out. Can you hear me? Whoops. Now you're robotic.
model. Yeah.
You're sounding almost like Max Headroom, but without the.
You still got me?
There you go. All right, you're back. Whoops. Oh shoot! Just when I said that, your video froze. Oh, all
All
right.
right. Well,
Now
how
you
about
might.
now?
That's a little better. You're still roboting some. Test, test, test.
Is that better? Is that better?
Yeah. There you go. All right.
Okay. Let me. I'm gonna bring something up for you here. Hold on. Is this
All right.
the? Is this the one? No. Is this the one?
11 by
This is the
7.
one right here. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. This is it. All right, so we want to do this. Share the screen. Application window. Boom.
Ooh, check that out. Oh, wow. So what are you going to do with the 3D model?
Well, the first thing that I'm going to do, hopefully, is some 3D like Star Trek style flybys. I really want to see those.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Just like little, Star Trek flybys. But then, roughly the same time, we're going to have a 3D model printed, and then hopefully that will be awesome enough to where I can put a tier on one of the campaigns where people can start purchasing 3D models in various sizes.
Wow.
With various accessories of the hauler. Yeah.
Various accessories? You mean you might be able to attach weapons or something on the outside?
Well, there's going to be a stand. Advanced versions of the hauler are going to be, where there'll be an interior, that kind of stuff over the years. You know what I mean? So it's going to get pretty cool.
Wow. What a
yeah.
trip.
So yeah.
That looks like it's going to be fun.
Well, what I want to do is I want to try and have the first version of this that's released to be pretty inexpensive. You know what I mean? So it's trying to figure out how I can get this thing 3D printed and into people's hands for a reasonable price.
Yeah.
Luckily, I can have them, printed one at a time. You know what I mean? So I can print them to order.
Yeah, true.
But but that's more of an expensive way. At some point, I want to, figure out what people like and then have it mass produced. So, so I can have a bunch of them and take them to conventions. I'm going to have a really big one done though, so I can have it sitting on the table at a convention. People be like, "Oh, damn!" You know what I mean?
Yeah, something the size of Jabba's sail barge. Yeah, I mean, this might be something down the road, but I mean, you could probably rig it so that, if you have like a mid-size model, you could rig it so you can detach it at every layer of the 3 stories, so you can see the living quarters.
Well, that actually, when the full scale final one is all done with all the interior, that's exactly how it would be. In fact, I would have magnets holding on the sections together.
Oh,
So like these would have little like little post holes that you set it to, but it would have magnets that would just hold it together. And then so like this middle section would come off, and then this top section would come off.
oh man,
cool. So you'd be able to see what the middle section looked like through the top section here, and then the top section here would come off, and you'd be able to see what this section looked like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
when you make the full size, are you gonna make a stand for it, or will it be so big that you'd rather just let it?
Well, when I make the full size, I may have a stand for it. However, I may have landing gear for it.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that would be
when I have all the interior version, that one I may have just with landing gear. Yeah. When I have the first run, when it's basically nothing going on inside to see, it's basically going to be probably a stand, so it looks like it's in flight. You know what I mean, or something like that. I don't. It's gonna depend on a few different things, material costs and designs and weighting, and you know what I mean. And there's factors. I don't have the stand finalized yet.
Okay, all right.
But this is the final design of the 3D hauler on the outside. This is how it looks.
That's pretty neat.
It was difficult to do because obviously translating from a loose 2D design to a strict 3D design, you know what I mean, was a little bit of an effort to overcome some of the things that weren't communicated clearly, you know what I mean, from the drawing.
All right.
But all those have been resolved, and now it looks just like all the drawings.
Huh. Mr. Berger, welcome. He's asking, what program is that?
This here is just like any browser program, file browser will do this, what I'm using here, but this was created in Maya.
Maya. Oh.
Yeah, I can't wait until I can do a Captain LUV video game. The series is so set up, by the way, for a video game. It's unreal.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Because Spade is like your little, she like lives in Captain LUV's eye. You know what I mean? He sees her when she wants to display herself. So it's like already perfect for a shooter thing where, your little narrator is, like if you're like playing, Halo or, something like that, or, they have the little person pop up, like that. So Spade always being there already makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like, it's totally set up for like shooters, for flights, for everything. It is a world just vast for the video game picking. So
you might, if you haven't already, reach out to I think it's 6 a.m. Comics.
Yeah, 6 a.m. Comics. He's my buddy. What do you mean?
No, yeah,
we do backer bingo together, man.
What am I talking about? I was gonna say, have you like talked to him about a game, because he's already got one, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He didn't do the programming side of it. They use a different gaming engine. Yeah, it's different kind of game. His is a side scroller. I'm thinking more of a first person shooter. You know what I mean?
Ooh. I don't know if you're at all familiar. I'm still a huge fan of the Atari Jaguar, and there was a game, I think it's called Xenomorph, and you're a spacecraft. You control a spacecraft from, I think it can either be first person perspective or third person, but no, actually, I think it's third person on the first game, but your ship changes depending on what kind of upgrades you pick up. And every now and then you have more or less like the equivalent of an AI interface talking to you in the lower left corner or something.
Right.
That seems like something that would work with this.
Right. That's basically the same kind of concept that Spade is all the time for LUV. Yeah, basically. But she doesn't always appear in his eye. She's not constantly there. But the thing is he can't escape her. Like if he was sleeping, in fact, there's a scene that you guys will eventually see that's not in Rise of the Pirate King. It's in a future presentation where LUV is sleeping, and she wakes him up by basically like appearing in his eye and screaming in his ear.
Welcome, Matanui. Good to have you. Hi, man. I'm always late. You're good. You're good. Mr. Berger uses C4D and Lightwave and Unity 3D.
Yeah. Now, so, yeah, I if you guys are familiar with those softwares and you're interested in talking about possibly being involved in the Captain LUV video game developing, everybody at this point, I'm open to hearing everybody's feedback and stuff like that, because I have not built the team that I want to use to build a 3D game yet. So anybody who is interested and has the skills, Unity engine is the one that I've been told that works pretty good. So I if you're familiar with that kind of stuff, I'm open to suggestions and talks. There's money to be made down the road. So if you're skilled, hit me up. You can find me at the Drew Love on Twitter. It's the easiest way. Drew Love, like on my bottom of my window there, the Drew Love. Find me, seriously.
Yeah, there's I don't know if one day you were thinking about making it like a third-person shooter where you actually play as one of the characters or any of.
Yeah, first person shooter where you're playing as Captain Love. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, first person. As far as like having like other characters and that kind of stuff, that would be much later down the road. You know what I mean? My initial design idea right now is story arc style. You know what I mean? Where we're telling a story, and then first person shooter with some flight scenarios, a little bit of dog fighting kind of stuff, that kind of thing, a little bit of that in there. But for the most part, first person shooter style, so
This may not be where you're, well, I don't know. Did you hear about the project on Indiegogo called Hero Potential?
Mm-mm.
The guy's got, let me take a segue real quick. He's crowdfunding a video game that has some like 12 or 13 default characters, but he's made deals with like 3 ComicsGaters, EVS, Cecil, and your boy Zach, to more or less use their characters in his game as downloadable content. So it's more of like third person view, but it might be something to explore as possibly as like a stepping stone to what you're eventually wanting to go for. And the cost of as I understand it, the cost of the DLC, the money's earned from that goes to the creator as more or less the licensing fee or the equivalent of. So it's one of those games where it's like a zombie type of game, zombie style, where you've got one of 4 or 5 levels, environments, and AI robots are coming at you from all directions, and your job is to fight them off until you can no longer fight them off. So you've got some generic characters, and then come on, select it. He's working on the power sets and things like that. This is a tentative GUI, graphical user interface. You can pick up weapons and health packs throughout the game. You choose before you actually enter the arena what kind of power set you're interested in. Like this is like large or super large growth character, and you're fighting various bosses from time to time, and it just progressively gets harder and harder and harder.
That's usually how games are set up. It sounds pretty basic on the setup.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to like reinvent that wheel at all. As far as typical first person shooter kind of stuff. Like my favorite game to play back when that stuff came out strong was what the hell, Splinter Cell, the Tom Clancy one that written by Tom Clancy.
Right, where it's like is that similar to Counter-Strike, where you work with the team and you come in?
No, it was basically just like a one-man assassin kind of thing. That would he would go into sniper mode, He would also be able to, like, you'd see him walking, you know, in some situations. So it's depending on the, you know, it was first person shooter, but it was, you know, over the shoulder, you know, kind of thing.
Okay, all right. Gotcha. So you're looking for a Splinter Cell type of.
That would be my ideal format. So you could still see Captain Love, and you know, like while you're playing, as well as still be, you know. But you could go to first, like I would have two modes. Like you could go from that, but you could go to POV mode, where if you want to just see it as first person shooter, I'd like to be able to do that. The problem with that is it's just like those look cheesy. You know what I mean? You know, when you go to just POV mode, I think they always look too cheesy.
Oh,
You know, like for a scene, it makes sense, but like for the whole game, it just seems real cheesy because you have like hands come out of the sides, and it's, you know what I mean, and then you aim that way. I like POV mode, something you go into, like you're aiming the gun. You know what I mean?
right.
You know, that kind of thing. I like that, and then when you're not in POV mode, the character comes back up, and it's, you know.
Yeah,
Character.
I hear you.
That's my favorite way how I'd like to do the game. So,
Mm.
but we're nowhere near there yet. Right now, we're focused on this campaign. This campaign needs sales. I need everybody in the chat support. If you can't afford Captain Love, then please tell everybody you know that Captain Love exists and that they need a copy of it, because I need love on this campaign.
Indeed, indeed. Let's see. Speaking of which, let's drop the link to the campaign again. And let's check out the perks, the tiers.
Yeah. So the first one is catch up. That means you can get chapter 1 and 2 and volume 1, which gives you everything that that exists in the Captain Love story well up to this point. So that's for $40. It's an absolute great deal.
Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and Volume 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then below that, we have just chapter 1, which is just chapter 2. I'm sorry, just chapter 2, which is basically, if you already got chapter 1, you already got volume 1. This is all you need. You know what I mean? You can get this, and it'll be shipped. If you want it signed, that's underneath that. You know what I mean? So you can get it signed. If you if you already have volume 1, but you need chapters 1 and 2, there it is, right underneath there. And then underneath that, they have them signed. So if you want them signed, you can get them signed.
Cool.
Yeah, and if you want the exclusive Vinny variant, this is going to be the most exclusive book in the entire Captain Love collection. There's only 100 of these printed. There is only 7 available. 7 available. So you want to get your hands on these while you can, because when Captain Love becomes something super famous, the video game's out, movies are out. You know, we're on the 4th or 5th book, and you know, Captain Love is like, oh, everybody knows Captain Love is. You know, you're gonna think, I could have bought that Vinny variant and had that thing in my collection, and I could have been a badass.
Yep.
Yeah. So now's your opportunity to jump in on that, and then
on that.
And then you have the Love to the Rescue themed T-shirt, and then the Chapter 2 artwork T-shirt.
Love to the Rescue, Chapter 2 artwork.
Yeah. Then the original T-shirt art, which is All You Need Is Love.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Oh, and it's in that typeface that
yeah
is on the old computers.
Exactly. And then there's Poster Pack A and Poster Pack B. If you want the preset packs, those are them. If you want a custom pack, you keep going down, you'll see that you can choose whichever poster you want, and you can choose 3 of the same one if you want. Seriously. Yeah, you can just pick which posters you want in that one there. And then this, if you want all 6 posters, you can get them at a discount. You can see that it's a little cheaper that way.
Yeah.
And then if you want the posters and all the T-shirts, you can do that. Then let's say you want the posters, the T-shirts, and the 3 books. You can get it all. You can have it all right there. You want it all, you can get it all.
Damn, that is sweet. The whenever you reference Volume 1, is that the same as the issue 0?
Yes, Volume 1 is issue 0. That is correct.
Gotcha. All
Yes.
right.
Volume 2 will be Rise of the Pirate King, and that would be issues 1 through 6, which would have 6 chapters. So basically, right now I'm referring to them as chapter 1 through 6. You know what I mean? And then in the next book, which I'm not releasing the title yet, when the next book comes out after Rise of the Pirate King, those will also be chapters 1 through 6, but they'll be issues 7 through 12.
Hmm. Oh, okay. All right. Wow. Sweet. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised these haven't been scooped up because that's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, some people did scoop those up because there was a discounted version of that, and for people who signed up on the mailing list, they got links to a discounted version of that.
Oh,
Yeah, so a couple people picked it up that way.
gotcha. Excuse me. So that's something that you'd only be able to see behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's a secret link that you would get. It's a discount. It actually knocks 15 off the price of this, so
Oh, wow.
they get it for $15 less. And if you got that link, it's there. If you want it all, and you still have that email link, get on it because it's there for you. So
Was it 15 off the 300? Or
no, 15 off the 175. So it's one.
Crap.
So you get all this for 160 if you have that link. Yeah.
Yeah. What a trip.
Well, that's what you get when you sign up early. You get big fat discounts. You know what I mean?
Seriously. Welcome Unhinged Entertainment. Listening at work.
What's up, Unhinged?
Sweet. Unhinged is really cool and very supportive. Man, that is a hell of a deal. Do you have, by chance, images of the T-shirt designs?
Yeah, at the bottom.
Well, I mean that. Oh wait.
After the posters.
After the posters.
That's Pat Maxton's. That one's actually in color. I haven't posted the color version on there. It's all over Twitter though.
Oh shit! How did I miss all this? What the? All right, let me see where I left off because I think I missed a bunch of stuff.
The last 2 posters because we got stuck on Henry Ponciano. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we were looking through the artwork. We checked out the 3D model, checking out the posters, and we were marveling at all this artwork. Yeah.
Right. So there's the Peter Gilmore poster is where we missed. Yeah.
Oh, Peter Gilmore did one too.
Yeah, he did one, and it's From Venus with Love. It's a throw to James Bond, and it's actually extra special now because if you notice, he kind of made Captain Love look a little bit like Sean Connery, and Sean Connery just passed away. So it's
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's a hella cool cover.
Yeah, that's a 11 by 17 poster. Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool. Captain Love.
And then this one, Pat Maxton, also known as Doodlebags, drew Vestige 2, working on Gigadeath right now.
All right.
Yeah, this one looks awesome colored. I don't know if I have a version on this computer. Let me see. If I do, I'll bring it up.
So did he do the inking and coloring?
He did the inking, and then I had my colorist do the coloring on it, just because I wanted to give my colorist more work, and my colorist is a badass. So
nice.
Let's see here if I can find this thing here. See, it would be. Do I have it on this computer? It's a good question. Do I? Doesn't look like I have a copy of that on. Oh, you know what? I have it in my Twitter. Hold on. I do have a copy. Let's see, it's in my Twitter. See her just reposted that. Let's see here. Where'd it go? Come on. Where's the? There it is. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen again real quick. Hold on. That's the color version. I share the screen. There you go.
Ooh, that's nice. All right, that looks cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's pretty badass, right?
Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Mr. Berger says, okay, dig this like a shovel. Search Facebook for visual effects jobs and training. 700 plus visual effects artists. I run that group. Shouldn't be a problem to put you in touch with someone they can help you out.
Well, that'd be cool.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Man, that is nice. Ooh. Good piece colored.
Yeah, I'm very fond of it. It's gonna make an awesome poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've got T-shirts, Chapter 2 cover art. Okay, all right. So that's what that one looks like.
Right, and if you see, it's shaped a little bit, so it looks better on a T-shirt. It's not just a rectangle.
Yeah. Nice.
And then that's
Rescue.
yeah, Love the Rescue with a piece of artwork that's only been seen in the back of the first graphic novel. It's the only place it's ever existed prior. So
Oh.
it's like the last page or next to last page, something like that. So
Nice.
and then that design has existed for a while. It's since the first campaign. It's All You Need Is Love.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's just basically a little information on the team, just basically who we are, and then the stretch goals. I would love to hit the 10K stretch goal. The 5K stretch goal we're pretty close to. We actually might hit it. We haven't hit it yet. It's going to bring another pin up in. But the 10K stretch goal, I want to do this button and sticker set so bad. I want to give everybody a button and a sticker. So let's get this thing to 10K in the next, before. I mean, it's like the next 20 days. I mean, it can be done.
Right.
We should do it because everybody needs a sticker and a button.
Heck yeah. I know it's not listed, but have you thought about possibly offering a patch?
That is in the future. I have to get the stretch goals. I have other stretch goals that are even cooler than that at 15 and 20, but they're not announced yet because we're not even to the 10. So
Right. Secret stretch goals.
Yes. Well, there's no point in like teasing people with stretch goals they can't have if we can't get the campaign up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I hear you.
yeah. So I usually try to stay about 2 ahead. So like when we hit the pinup stretch goal, I might reveal the 15, or when we start coming up on the 10, I might reveal what the 15 is. So.
Yeah. That is pretty sweet. Hell of a deal too, man.
No, I try to give everybody like an irresistible pricing, and I don't want to change that. You know what I mean? Because I would hate to have to charge more. You know what I mean? But it's like I mean I have 140 backers. Usually 140 backers at normal ComicsGate pricing would put me in the like $8,000-9,000 range. So like you got to think that I'm costing myself thousands of dollars giving everybody these fat discounts and not trying to rate people on shipping and stuff. So
Right.
it would be cool if other people thought that was awesome and kicked into support. That should be we should, I mean seriously, I should be making hundreds of books here. This is
Sure.
Captain Love is a great product. If we just need to get the word out. The truth of the matter is, now I did have a whole lot of backers on chapter 1 campaign. You could back all of the chapters from the first campaign. That is an option, and some people have done that, where they went in as an executive producer. That option is no longer available. It was only available on the chapter 1 campaign for a book. You know what I mean? Because you're starting it then. Now a lot of those people have already got, so think about like another 80 on this as far as actual chapter 2 purchases. So we are a lot closer to like 225 actual chapter 2s have been claimed, like backers for chapter 2. But those people are getting their book already. They're going to get chapter 3, 4, 5, and 6 of those releases. I need to find more money to keep things going strong. I mean, I don't want to have to pay for this whole thing out of my pocket. So
Oh yeah, you shouldn't have to either.
but yeah, so I'm not trying to sound like I'm begging, but I'm begging for support.
Mr. Burger says, DM me on Twitter at Mr. Burger's Anti-Hollywood TV at Hollywood_anti.
Okay. Hollywood anti.
Hollywood_anti.
Not Hollywood hentai. It was too easy to not go there with that, right?
That would be a trip, wouldn't it?
Hollywood hentai?
Side business.
that should be, someone needs to make that movie. Hollywood hentai. What?
Basically, same old in Hollywood.
Right.
Oh man, let's play this trailer once more. Which one would you prefer to play, the first or second one this time around?
Go ahead and play the second one, the spade one, because the first one is they both have the song in it, but I mean I've subjected a lot of people to the first one already.
Alrighty.
Greetings, my name is Spade. That stands for Synchronized Protocol Artificial Intelligence Delegate, and I am living software. I want to tell you about this amazing person I'm blessed enough to be companions with. His name is Love. Captain Love is a space trucker and a famous war hero. He once saved the solar system from a madman's reign. Some people believe him to be immortal, but if you were to ask him, he would say he just hasn't died yet. Captain Love regularly, and somewhat reluctantly, finds himself on wild adventures that could potentially change the course of the solar system. There always seems to be a friend of his in trouble, and some sinister person, evil organization, or jealous husband trying to kill him. Sometimes it's friends, or a woman's attention that gets him in what seems like a tough situation. But regardless, I am always there with him. I look after him, and I know him better than anyone ever will. He is a really good man, no matter what anyone else says.
And you feel like the universe is giving, and there'll be love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right up there. There'll be love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue.
All right, awesome. Sweet.
Yeah, Mr. Burger, you're gonna have to follow me back on Twitter before I can DM you, by the way.
So yeah, that's a good point. Otherwise, it's stuck at being one way only.
Yeah, he doesn't have his DMs open, so.
Definitely a cool looking project. 289% of 1,500 flex goal. So I think you might have mentioned it earlier. The campaign, is it in the? Are you doing like 2 30-day fundings or 1 60-day funding?
I've been my second 30.
Second 30. All right.
Yeah. So there's 19 days left, and that's all there's left.
And then are you going in demand?
Yes, I'm going to leave it in demand. I'm going to fulfill pretty much right away. And then I'm going to leave it in demand all through Christmas. And probably, again, it looks like all the way through March. You know what I mean? Because the numbers are moving so slow here, I'm going to have to pull production costs out of my credit or out of my bank account or someplace to make up the difference, to keep things going. So, it's just going to have to wait a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's chapter 3, not chapter 2. Chapter 2 is done. I don't do a campaign for a book until the book is done. That way people aren't waiting a year for their book. They're not wondering if they're going to get their book. Yeah. There's no risk with Captain Love. Just so you guys understand, that's why I do it this way. I remove the risk. I put it on my shoulders so that you guys are not gambling when you back me, right? You're guaranteed to get your book when you back Captain Love.
And oh, you got a stupid. Why can't I seem to? Oh, all right. Hold on. Oh, seriously? Hold on a sec. I need to check something real quick.
Somebody spammed you. In search of followers, primes, and views? Come on, bigfollows.com.
I was gonna say you're able to see it. Oh yeah, because you're a guest. That's right. Yeah, it shows in stream. It shows in StreamYards, and I was trying to report the stupid thing, but then Twitch goes and says, "Hey, you gotta log in," and then I try and log in, and then it says, "Hey, you gotta do two-way verification." So then it routes me back to my freaking email, which gives me a freaking code.
What a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yes, Unhinged Entertainment follows up, are wondering if they're going to get the original art piece. I will be selling more original art on Captain Love in the future. But my illustrators all work digital. So, you know, if I'm going to do original art, it's going to have to be like of pinup work or posters or something like that. So, or covers or, you know.
Since you're a painter, have you done some Captain Love paintings?
I have not. I will eventually. But I don't want to go down that road until I'm sure that I won't be tweaking somebody else's work. Because here's the thing: is like as an artist, if I do that, I'm like, oh, this is how I want it to look now. You know what I mean? Then I'll be trying to force somebody else to do it my vision. You know what I mean? So it's like right now I'm more flexible because I haven't made a version of my own. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, all right. Like when the whole idea of like having a certain vision of how it should look.
Right. If I lock down what I think it should look like, what my hands say, I'm going to become more of a dick about it, I think. So.
Well, that's an interesting way to look at it. All right. Gotcha. What a pain in the rear.
And yeah, and it takes me a lot longer for one image than it would for an illustrator to do a whole page. So.
Yeah, painting is time consuming. What kind of painting did you do again? Was it
acrylics on canvas, basically?
Canvas, all right.
Yeah. And then I can do digital painting, but but same thing, using the same style brushes, using the same techniques. It's just digital.
All right. Right on. All right, so we are good to go. Very cool looking project. Everybody should back this. I gotta start really promoting this on all the streams I hop on, or the ones I mod at. I mean,
yeah, Captain Love can use the support. That's for sure, man. I appreciate everybody who's been helping out and trying to push it. It's there's a lot of campaigns out there, so there's a lot of noise, and and a lot of people don't realize that I'm trying to to keep something going here. I'm trying to get some momentum. And if people I think people don't even realize that there's like a different campaign. You know what I mean? Like they see Captain Love and they're just thinking, because a lot of people just do the one book, you know what I mean, the one IP, and then they move on. And then they're doing another IP. This is the third campaign of the same IP. So right. People just, don't even realize. Like you didn't realize that you were missing a volume 1. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You didn't even know.
Yeah. I jumped on the Captain Love bandwagon with chapter 1.
Right.
And
So like a lot of people don't even realize that I mean when that right there will like make the whole thing better for you after you read the backstory of how Captain Love met Spade and how he became the hero of the cleansing and why it is that he may be immortal. Like those answers are all in that book.
nice. Brings it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. All right. So we are going to wrap up, I think.
Okay.
Would you do the honors of, you got the floor, would you share with the world how you can be found on social media?
All right. Well, you see this right here? This right here, it says The Drew Love. That works on Twitter and on YouTube and on Instagram. So if you go to Instagram /The Drew Love, YouTube.com/The Drew Love, Twitter.com/The Drew Love, you will find me on all those places fairly easily. So.
Mm-hmm. Madanui adds, yeah, and if you can't afford to get volume 1, you're possibly shit out of luck unless they do a second chance campaign.
Yeah. Well, volume 1 is not that expensive. $20 shipped for a 72-page graphic novel. That's premium quality. I mean, that's a fucking steal, man.
It is. Holy moly, it is. Especially, with my experience backing all the books I backed, that's a hell of a steal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And if you really like our collector, you can get you can get the variant with that and the 9 trading cards for like $50. You know what I mean? And there's a shipping fee on that, but seriously, you know what I mean? It's a great price. I think it's like, I think it works out to like 65 after the fact, but it's like, another, if you're a collector, you get everything off that campaign. So.
And yeah, if you wanted to get the volume 1 by itself or with whatever is part of that campaign, which is still in demand.
Yep.
You go to, it was that last link
the easiest thing, everybody can find everything the easiest way, go to CaptainLove.com.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Everything will be there at CaptainLove.com, or you can go to Indiegogo and search Captain Love, and it'll all be presented for you. You can make your choices from there. So
that's true too. Yeah, Very good point. Hail the love and WyzGyz. Thank you so much. You can find me on Facebook and YouTube, WyzGyz Entertainment, on Twitter at WyzGyz Tweets, Twitch at WyzGyz Twitches, Parlay under WyzGyz Parlays, and Instagram on WyzGyz Now. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Mark the bell for notifications so you hopefully don't miss a single video or stream. And drop some comments below the video and share with us what you're most excited about on Captain Love, Rise of the Pirate King, Chapter 2. Thank you to everyone in chat for joining us. Thank you to everyone who watches this on replay. And thank you to our very special guest, Mr. E.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. We are ending the broadcast in 3, 2, 1. Bye, everyone.